This game sucks. That's what my wife told me to say. It's not true. Not true. This is Unmatched. There's a number of these sets. Jurassic Park is just one that my wife and I really enjoy. And so basically what you're doing in these games, they're mainly two-player games where you have two characters that are going to play very differently. And so in this one, you've got the Raptors that are a set of 3 characters. You're moving around this board, but they're only melee champions, and so they have to be right next to whoever they are attacking, which would be engine in this situation. But the engine workers, you've got the one main guy, and he's trying to, of course, attack the Raptors. He's got some little minions here, sidekicks, and they are very weak but can still be useful for a number of different things. And so once the main champions are dead, if you defeat just this one guy, the Raptors win, but he starts with more personal health than each of these start with individually. But they also are like ranged champions, and so these guys you can shoot any of these, attack any of these Raptors that are in the same zone as the engine characters would be. So you've got the board right here, fairly small board. That's one thing I like about this is just how small it is. You can grab this and run and gun with it. It is a game that might be close or might not, and so that's one negative to the game, is there are definitely some games where as you're playing you kind of know, okay, I'm not going to win this game, but it's still going to take a little bit until, you know, my last Raptor is gone or whatever. But what you're doing in this game is you're drawing cards. It's very much driven by your deck of cards. There's some base things that you can choose to do, and so like your movement, every time you draw a card you get to move, or you could play a card, and you get 2 actions per turn. And then when someone attacks you, some of your cards have defenses on them as well. So if I say I'm going to attack you, I lay it upside down so you don't see what it is. So I might be attacking you with a 1, I might be attacking you with a 5, and you just don't know. And so there's some interesting things in that, where do you try and go all out and do you try to really attack and kill someone? Do you think you can get there, or do you try and save your cards to make it seem like you have a bunch of good stuff in hand when you really might not, that kind of thing. So I really enjoyed our plays of this. It is a game where 100% you are attacking the other person. You win by killing the other character, and so there's a lot of games where that's not my favorite thing, especially with my wife and I. When we play games we enjoy where we can kind of mostly do our own little thing, both enjoy whatever happens, and then you win by victory points or that kind of thing. But this was one that I think is fast enough. It's like a 20-minute game is what it says on the box, and I'd say 20 to 30 minutes is very reasonable. And another thing that's really nice is you can play with all the different sets together. What I mean by that is you could take the Raptors from this one and play against some other random box. I don't know how many there are out there, but there are a decent number. There's some different sets of 2 characters, and then there's some that have sets of 4 characters in them, and you could mix and match any of them. There is a way to play 2 versus 2, or even a 3-player game, everyone by themselves, but this really works best as a 1 versus 1 game, and it's a goodie. I like it. So the last thing is the artwork. Honestly, is some of the best that I've seen. I generally don't find myself just like looking at the artwork on these cards and everything, but I was just looking at all of these cards and like, man, these are beautiful cards. The artwork on the box and everything is just really, really cool. And so that's another thing that I really appreciate about this game, is it's fun to display, it's fun to pull out and just play, and it gives a nice experience overall. But there are some drawbacks to it, so I think the expectations that you go in and play the game are important as well. So hopefully that gives you a nice little touch and taste of what this game is, what it does, and why it may or may not be right for you. Thanks.